Hey guys, I'm reviewing the holiday palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is called, this is the box that it came in, and this is called PRISM palette. It says so here, PRISM, and it says Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, this is a holiday palette and this is limited edition, but why so serious? This palette does not look like a fun, carefree, do whatever I want, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone kind of holiday palette. This is so serious. I don't know, so professional and very like corporate life kind of serious. This doesn't look like a holiday palette, but that's just my personal opinion. I know I'm just ragging them, but let's look at the back of the box. These are the shades that you get here in the palette, and a luxe holiday eyeshadow collection with 14 shades featuring universal neutrals and prismatic metals. So you do have neutral mattes. There are neutrals in both mattes and metallics actually. So you get mattes and metallics, and you get 14 shades in total. And in each pan, you don't get a lot, to be honest. It's 0.02 ounce of product, which is like a mini size. Just for reference, Max eyeshadow, full-size eyeshadows, you get 0.05 ounce of product. You get the same amount, 0.05 ounce of product in Urban Decay full-size singles. This is not even half. This is not even 0.025. It's 0.02 ounce of product in each pan. So that's a mini size, guys. You don't get a lot of product. There is a list of ingredients at the back of the box, and it says eyeshadows made in USA, and then it says hypoallergenic, dermatologist tested. They have this caution always on Anastasia's boxes. It says discontinue use if signs of rash or irritation appear. What else? And the brush, it does come with a brush. The brush is made in China, right? Yeah, it's made in PRC. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and the palette is cruelty free. Yeah, that's it, I guess. That's all the information you have in the box. I forgot to tell you guys, it looks like an envelope, right? Kind of looks like an envelope. So this is the actual product. It has this velvet look, and then it has the prism here, and kind of has this envelope look. Again, I'm saying, repeating myself, it has prism. Just looks just a replica of the box, but in velvet, and this is paper. And then at the back you have the list of ingredients, which is definitely nice. And yeah, that's about it, guys. And I said it did come with you know, brush, dual-ended brush. I know a lot of people, I see a lot of reviews where they say that it's useless and I throw it out. I don't think this is useless at all. I use this brush, both ends, and they work fine for me. So don't throw it out if you get the palette. Just use it. It's nice. It's not the best brush on planet, of course, but it's not like you're worthless or useless. You can definitely get some use out of it. So I don't think you should throw it out. And then this is the palette, and it does come with a mirror, not like a very large sized mirror, not the size of the palette. It's like maybe just here, just this. This is the size of, maybe this is the length of the mirror that you get inside. But I think it's sufficient. I can see my face. My chin is cut off. My chin and forehead is cut off when I look at it straight. So yeah, that's the size of the palette. So this is the actual palette, guys. You get 14 shades, and let's get swatching. And it does have like the list, the names on the palette itself. Just underneath the shadows, which definitely is useful. I know a lot of people complain about it, but the fact that you really need eyeshadows listed down here is more of a beauty blogger necessity, not an everyman necessity, to be honest. But and the eyeshadows are made for everybody, so I don't really mind if the shade names aren't on the on the actual product. But anyways, the first shade is called Lucid, which is like a white base with some gold iridescence in it. That's a beautiful shade. It is a metallic. I feel you would need layering with it. This is again kind of on the slippery. It's very silicone heavy kind of metallic finish, so you have to layer it a bit, guys. With the finger it definitely works well, but 2 layers should do the trick. So that's beautiful color. And then you have Eden, which is like a peachy color, peachy brown color. It's just a matte, just pigmented. And then you have Unity. Unity is more of a beige shade. Beige, yeah, it's more of a beige, but it's not very like white beige. It definitely has this warm tone to it. So it's matte and it's pigmented. Then we have Sphinx, and which is a bronze shade. Now, yeah, that is Sphinx. Now, there's something off about this shade, guys. It's so silicone heavy, it's so slippery that there is no friction when my finger touches this pan. You know, with the eyeshadow, it just slips, and I feel probably that's why I'm not able to lift off pigment properly. And so I feel even the finger swatch doesn't look good, right? And imagine how it works with the brush. It does not work very well even with the brush. You have to do a lot of layering, to the point I got a little bit impatient and I just abandoned that color. So this is too silicone heavy, I feel. I'm not sure if that is the reason. I'm just guessing that that's the reason, but I'm not sure. But whatever be the reason, this shade Sphinx, something is off. It's not pigmented, even with the finger swatch. So it's too slippery. The pigment doesn't adhere well to the finger and the brush. So look, it's not a useless shade. You can definitely put in a lot of effort and make it work and eventually get it to look good on your eyes, but I don't know. And then this is Osiris. It's a purple shade. Again, this is not very slippery, but again, it's not that pigmented with a brush. You have to layer this shade quite a bit. It's not that pigmented when you use a brush. You have to layer it. So that is more of a matte with some glitters in it. So yeah, I know with the lights it kind of pops in, you know, you can see the purples and everything, but on the eyes it just looks very dull. At least on my skin tone it looks very dull and just looks like a not so pigmented black shade, like somewhere in between kind of a black shade, you know. So that again is not a very favorite color for me. And then we have Sphere, which is a matte, like very fluorescent green, I thought, but on my skin it looks like a lime green. It's actually, I was very excited about this, but you know, this is a saturated finger swatch, but when you like blend it off, that's how it would look when you use a brush, you know, an actual eyeshadow brush. It kind of looks blended even when you use an eyeshadow flat shader brush, and it kind of looks, you can see that white base when it kind of blends away. As you can see, it is not a bad color. Do you see? It's like adheres really well to the skin. Even when I dust it off, it adheres well to the skin and everything, but it looks very kind of white base and kind of faded, and it doesn't look very attractive on my skin tone. I was very excited about this shade, this particular shade, but after I used it on my eyes, I was not very motivated. But it is a good shade. It's a nice shade. As you can see, I've just rubbed it off. I'm sorry, let me just do a good brush swatch. So that is Sphere. And then you have Obsidian, which is a matte black. This is a nice shade. I'm not complaining. It's not like ridiculously pigmented like a creamy black, but I think it does its job well. It blends. I was able to, I just slightly just dipped my brush in, and I just have it just in this spot, exactly just in that particular spot where I wanted that depth. And it worked well, it blended out well, so I don't really mind because it doesn't interfere with the blending, it doesn't interfere with the pigment appearing on the eyes. It does its job well, so it's a good black, it's a good matte black. And then this Dimension, I really did not expect much from the shade, but such a beautiful shade, guys. Yeah, I know it kind of looks very silvery, like a very dirty silver, but it's more of a lilac shade with some pink shimmers in it, and it's really beautiful, and it's also very pigmented. I have the shade, do you see this silvery shade here in the inner corner of the eye, which goes and connects with my crease? This is the shade I have. It works beautifully with a blending brush. I just used this brush, in fact. I use this brush to just apply the shade and just connect it with the to my crease, and it actually looks really beautiful. I like it. So that is Dimension, and then we have Parallel. Parallel, I thought it's probably not very deep, but it is a deep shade. It's actually quite deep on my skin tone. It actually blends well, it applies well. It's a beautiful brown matte color. And then you have Pyramid, which is a gold shade. This is actually a nice shade, guys. This performs well. It took a little bit of 2 layers. This again is like slippery. Again, the shade is also that heavy, slippery, kind of a dense shade. But it kind of picks up better on the brush than this shade, than the bronze shade. This gold shade, actually, I was able to pick up the product well on the brush, but I feel when you touch both the pans, the feeling you get is very similar. They're both slippery. And then you have Throne. Wait, have I been like showing you the shades that I'm swatching? I'm sorry, guys. I should have been showing you guys the shades. This is such a beautiful shade, guys. So beautiful. I know when you like when I swatch it, it is kind of sheared out, so you can see the green really beautifully. I think in the lower lash I have this green, so you can see this green slightly, but in the corner and the outer corner of the eyelid I have the same exact color, but it pulls more black, right? You have that slight hint of green, but not this richness. So I feel if you like apply it on the eyelids in a saturated way, it kind of like draws more black than this beautiful green. But when you like shear it out, when you like use it in the you know, what's this place called, lower lash line, it really brings out this beautiful green. It's actually a really pigmented shade. This doesn't have that silicone slippery texture at all. In fact, there's quite a bit of friction that I feel when I touch the shade. It's so pigmented. It's beautiful. And then you have a matte which is called Satyr, which is this orange shade, which is very pigmented as well. Once again, I'm this bad slippery metallic shade, silicone, I think silicone heavy shade. This is called Eternal. This shade, we actually come to the last two. This is Eternal, and again this is very slippery. I was not able to pick up properly with a brush because it was so slippery, so I struggled a little bit building up this shade and this bronze shade. This gold was similar in texture, but I was able to pick up a little bit better on the brush. And then finally we have the shade which is Lure. Lure is this mauve pink shade, which is actually quite pigmented. Oh, I think I didn't wipe my finger off properly. Let's do the swatch again. Oh wait. Okay. That's Lure 2 times. So these are the shades, guys, that you get in the palette. So let's talk about the formulation. As I said, a couple of metallics are a bit off. I don't like that it's so slippery, that to the point that you're not able to pick up the pigment in the brush. Some of the shades not even in with your finger. So those 2 shades I'm not a big fan of. The mattes actually blend beautifully well. They are actually quite easy to use. And what else? The shimmers are also good, except for the copper and the bronze. The others are good. And this shade, this is just a matter of personal preference on my skin tone, because it is the fluorescent shade. It does have a white base, so when you shear it, eventually when you use a brush, these shades do get kind of sheared out, and when this looks when this particular shade is sheared on my skin tone, you can see that white base and this faded look, which I don't like, but I guess it look really fabulous on lighter medium skin tones. So yeah, but otherwise I really like all of the shades. They perform really well. But I saw a picture on Instagram of a person, of a girl who owns all of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette that's been released up until now, and I saw so much similarity, guys, in all of the palettes. I know there are some basic shades that have to be like browns and like transition shades, but even besides that, I saw orange in like almost every palette. I saw this bronze, gold, and copper. These three shades I saw in almost every palette. So I feel there is a lot of repetition. So yeah, that's the only thing that I kind of observed about it. So yeah, you guys. I forgot to mention that I didn't like this shade as well. Osiris. I'm struggling so much. Osiris, this bronze, and this copper. These three I'm not a big fan of, but otherwise you can definitely make it work, but it's just not like the best of the shades. Hope you guys found this video useful. Oh wait, did I tell you guys this limited edition? Yes, this is limited edition, and I don't think this is not exclusive to Sephora, so you can find this particular palette in websites where Anastasia Beverly Hills is available. So yeah, I think we've come to the end of this review, guys. Hope you guys found this video useful. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked watching it, and please subscribe. Bye.